Do you have intolerance to lactose? In many recipes, we do rely on milk. There are, of course, lactose-free alternatives on the market today, but we also suggest that you give camel milk a try. It contains significantly less lactose than cow's milk. Obviously, you should always talk to your doctor when making such a change to your diet, but many people who are sensitive to lactose have reported that they have little or no trouble with camel's milk. It's an all-natural and tastes delicious. You can get your own Desert Farms camel milk at GoGreenfields.com/camel milk.
Hello and welcome to the Go Greenfield Show. Today we are very excited to be interviewing a renowned chef who started cooking at age 15. He started his journey working at a friend's restaurant, and he's determined to use fresh, seasonal, local ingredients for his dishes, which has worked well for him in his roles as an executive chef and now culinary advisor at Elements, a restaurant and sanctuary Camelback Mountain Resort in Arizona, and he is also acting as the culinary director for Kala in the Senna House. Many of you will recognize him for his numerous television appearances and for his title of Iron Chef. And welcome, Beau MacMillan. Yay.
Hey, that was an awesome intro.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'm excited. So what got you started for cooking? Like, how did you get started?
You know, it's a great question. I think like a lot of people in the world, especially young people like you guys, it really started being around my grandmother's table. And she was somebody that was, you know, constantly trying to please people and her family through the beautiful world of food. I always looked forward to meals when I was around her. And I think she was the person who kind of lit the spark for me when it came to hospitality.
Oh, nice. Going off of kind of what you said about your grandma, who would be one of like your most inspirational people that you've had in your cooking experiences?
You know, that is another great question, because I think, and I speak for a lot of chefs, is, you know, you really try to take inspiration from so much, right? There's the not only the power of the incredible ingredients and the seasonality, but there's people and landscapes and the ocean and, you know, everything around you. But I got to tell you, I've had two incredible mentors in my life that have meant an amazing amount of just significance to myself and my career. And one is my best friend's mom. When I was a young guy, about the age of 12, 13 years old, I was getting invited to go over and eat at his house, and his mom was straight from Rome, Italy, and a mom that just, you know, cooked all day long and always had something in a pot on the stove. And if you got invited over to eat at her house, like, it was bragging rights. You'd give up like tickets to the Red Sox Yankees to have dinner at the LaRanger's household. Her name was Eva LaRanger, and she was another person that meant a great deal. And then one of my truest, you know, heroes in life, I got the ability at age 17 to work for my first, I think, real executive chef that had like this culinary prowess that was amazing. His name was Francois Demilog, and he was a chef at a little place called the Cranebrook Tea Room in Carver, Mass. And I got to work with him, and he just really inspired me. And I knew that if I could be half as good as him someday, I could be somebody.
Yeah. So where are you working now?
So I'm working all over the place, guys. I got a lot of pots on the stove, but I'm truly blessed. A little bit about my background is I grew up in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where, you know, the Plymouth Rock is and the Mayflower and all that stuff. You know, a lot of New England style seafood that I loved growing up on, but I traveled. I went to school in Rhode Island. I lived in Boca Raton, Florida for a few years. I lived in upstate New York.
Wow.
Was out in California in Los Angeles, but about 23 years ago, I moved to Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was the best decision I ever made. I call Scottsdale. I have 5 children and a beautiful wife, and I kind of oversee, for the last 23 years, I've overseen a very incredible boutique resort called The Sanctuary with my restaurant Elements. And I have been blessed and supported from the ownership there to allow me to step out and do some things that could, you know, keep me creative and keep me growing. And I just opened up a restaurant called Kala at the Senna House in Scottsdale, which is, you know, a totally different thing from Elements. It's a little more casual with a really upscale vibe, and it features pizzas and pastas and Mediterranean dishes, and I love it. It's been a blast.
Cool.
Oh,
That sounds
yeah,
really
also
good.
Vegas too. I have a restaurant called Money Baby Vegas.
I've been to Vegas. I haven't seen it, but I wasn't there for very long.
I
Wait, is
got
it like, which
yeah.
hotel is it in?
So that's at the Virgin Hotel, which happens to be the old hotel. So a legendary spot. And we have a 19,000 square foot restaurant that's fun. And a lot of like, it's big sports entertainment. And we have golf simulation rooms and an outdoor patio. And, you know, it's fun food too. It's wings
Yeah.
and burgers and dogs and it's just a good spot.
Yeah. And going off of the entertainment, like, so you went through you did a lot of TV shows like Iron Chef and like Guys Grocery Games.
Yeah.
What has been one of your favorite TV shows to be on?
Whew, that's a good question. You know, I would be lying if I said that all of those competitions are my favorite to be on because they can be incredibly tasking and stressful. Something that just pulls the best out of you when you get to go in those situations. So I really, truly like them. But I will say that there was a show that used to be on that I did a lot of appearances on, and it was called The Best Thing I Ever Ate. And all you do was talk about favorite places that you had been and the dish that you had. And you know how it speaks to everybody, you know, and you have aha moments. So going, I was like, okay, I get to fly to Los Angeles or to the destination and be at the restaurant eating my favorite thing and talking about it. It was like, I'll do this for the rest of my life. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was like eating and having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your favorite thing to cook? Like, what's your favorite cuisine or
that's
type of thing?
Yeah. Thinking about it, you know, it's funny now because I've been one of those guys my whole life that food, I've really loved it. You know what I mean? I haven't found very many things that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to eat that, or I don't like that, or that, whatever. I've been lucky. But I think one is, you know, from my roots in Massachusetts, like when I go back there, it's like fried clams and that New England clam chowder. I miss it because it's 85 degrees in Scottsdale and it's snowing in Boston. I want that clam chowder, you know?
Yeah.
But it moves for me because I also think like I'm very passionate about like pasta dishes, and some of the best ones I've ever had have the fewest ingredients, but they're used at their ripest tones and they have such a good mouthfeel and texture. So, you know, God, I really enjoy a lot of different things, and cooking for me, it's whether it's cooking for my kids, you know, Super Bowl Sunday's coming up. I'm going to probably light up that barbecue and put steaks on it, you know, so it's all fun.
Based off of, so do you like cooking simple or complex dishes?
I like really both, but I got to tell you.
We should stop asking Brad questions.
No, but in food can be perfection. And sometimes dishes that evoke the senses the most or make the biggest impact of people, it's more about when there's nothing left to take away, then what is there still left to add? If you get my drift, you can reduce things.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we just talked about a pasta dish, and I've had some, you know, been to Italy a few times in my life, and some of the dishes, you know, that come down to it offer less than 4 ingredients, but it's harmony and it's balance, deliciousness. So, yeah, I think simple. I got to be honest. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You also helped write a cookbook, right, on Alzheimer's?
I sure did. Yep. I got approached by a doctor here in the city of Scottsdale, who's just one of the classiest guys I know and really dedicated his life and his goals are to work himself out of a job because he wants to heal Alzheimer's patients and, you know, dementia. And he had a lot of theories on it, and I learned a lot. And, you know, I never imagined that if I was going to do a cookbook, that it would be like a medical health based cookbook, but it was phenomenal. And I ended up putting about 100 recipes in the book. And he kind of gave me the guidance about nutrition, and a lot of his drive was antioxidant driven. And a lot of the things that he really felt were the causes of dementia and early on Alzheimer's was inflammation in the body. So it was about really just nourishing it the right way and eating super clean. So yeah, I loved being a part of it. And it was nice, and people that were fans had wrote me and said, I bought the book for my mom and we're loving the food and it's helping. And it's really a good feeling.
Which was like one of your favorite recipes out of that book?
It's funny, but I mean, as simple as it can be, like the cover has we called it the brain broth. You know what I mean? It was a production of unbelievable vegetables and a veggie broth that we used in the book for kind of like a blue chip where it could be used in multi recipes. And that's what I really liked about the versatility.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like kind of allowing them to also cook, like they can make more things off of based of your recipes.
100%.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you become like more passionate about helping people with Alzheimer's after you did this cookbook? Do you like?
Yeah, I really did. I think that, just, you get over the kind of the selfism in food, I mean, I truly believe it's a really wonderful time to be a chef in this world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Chefs, 300 years ago were servants to kings and queens, right? I mean, we were peasants the way it is. And now all of a sudden chefs, like, red carpet stuff. And I've never really tried to buy into all of that because I really think that in this life of hospitality, you're dedicating to serving others. So like, yes, you get your name on a cookbook, it's special, right? But when you really look at that and see what you can do, and I know so many people in this industry that chefs that just, they donate their own time and their own life on top of what they're doing in their careers for charity and to do a lot of charity stuff. I've done it my whole life here in Scottsdale, and nothing better than going somewhere and really feeling like you made an impact or help someone and getting that thank you. It's about giving back. So I'm in a position. I really feel blessed that I have that opportunity, and if I can help people, I'm going to be there. Yeah.
What has been one of your favorite memories, like with cooking and helping people out?
Wow. You guys are right in tune with a couple of things, because I think memory is one of the biggest strengths a chef can have when it comes down to their, muscle memories and techniques when you're sauteing or grilling and all of the stuff, memories on timing about your temps and all that stuff. But I'll tell you, I've had a long life full of them, and they always involve people. Like it's in the kitchen, it's the people that illuminate kitchens. It's not the electricity, and the energy you bring and what you control is really truly your attitudes and your efforts. And I've been, somebody who wakes up pretty happy every day. My wife likes to describe me as a over happy person, but I found out at a young age what I wanted to do, and I really held on to it. And I owe so much of my success to the people that have worked for me or with me, you know what I mean? And, it's been a true ride. So I think those memories come from them, but specifically, Iron Chef against Bobby Flay. I can't remember anything until the end of the battle and I finally was like, am I alive still? Like, it was literally like blank tape with the stress. Energy. I've only watched my episode maybe twice. I was just like, what? It took everything out of me. You know what I mean? So that was a pretty special memory after it ended.
Why did you choose Bobby Flay to go against?
Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little inside tip. They it looked like I chose him, but I did not have a choice. When I got there that day, you're battling Flay. I was like, great, let's go.
What do you think helped you win against Flay?
Good question. I really have the most ultimate respect for him. I mean, he's a champion and one of the biggest talents in food that comes around. And really, I can honestly say that victory really just built my career, and I battled Bobby Flay one time, And I think Bobby might have had 9 more battles after me that month. So it speaks to what, that man can do. I think that where I got lucky, one was the ingredient that I battled in was Kobe beef. And it was the most expensive ingredient ever used on Food Network. Kobe beef if you put salt and pepper on it and grill it, it's unbelievably tasty. So, I to have that ingredient in against Flay. And I think really the thing that worked for me was that I really tried to showcase the elegance, and I kind of formulated a tasting, building course by course, and like really refined and beautiful and put together. And I think that Bobby did some stuff that Bobby does, like where he made like Kobe beef steak and eggs, kind of more casual comfort food. Mm-hmm. And I think that just responded to the way I went with the direction of the high-end ingredient more so. So I don't know if it was necessarily about the cooking or, mistakes or tasting better than others. It was really about, I think, the direction I took it in. I was grateful.
Yeah. And earlier you said that you like cooking for like your kids and stuff, and about like Super Bowl Sunday and grilling. Do your kids have any favorite recipes that you make for them?
So I have 5 kids. I have a 19-year-old. I have an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and I have 2 twins that are 2.5 years old. They're identical boys. Yep. And so, to be quite honest, they're all over the board, but they love food. Like Josie, to be honest with you, my only little girl, I think she survived on ramen and popcorn for like 3 years. I'm like, I don't know how she does it, but ramen is her thing. And my oldest son, Ryan, works with me here at the restaurant. He makes pizzas every night, and he really has a good palate, and I can feed him some fun stuff, and he enjoys it. My son, Kellen, also loves sushi,
same here.
Yeah, loves it. And I love taking them. And then the babies they're all over the board. They're fun. They're just really they're 2.5. So they're really talking a lot now and repeating things and stuff. And they, I was home for a while with the pandemic last year, and I was cooking 5 meals a day for everybody in that house because I was so bored. It was crazy.
Yeah. That would be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun just to have cook food all day.
Right.
So for Kala, that was a recent opening of a restaurant, right? It was within the last 3 years?
No, Kala only 16 days old. We just opened.
Wait, 16?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's
wow.
a baby.
Do you have any favorite recipes so far?
Yeah, we are doing this cool little, Kala, I mentioned, has little riffs from around the Mediterranean. So there's a little dish called lamb kofta, which is like a meatball.
Yeah,
version.
Meatballs.
Have you guys had it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a Mediterranean restaurant here too. That's serves those.
Yeah, I love them. We make them from scratch, and we add harissa and a little bit of breadcrumbs and garlic. We serve it with a great house-made tzatziki. But these little koftas are usually skewered, but I skewer them with sugarcane sticks, so they're look like big lollipops, and they're fun dipping and eating. And we're selling a ton of those. I think it might be my favorite thing on the menu.
That sounds inventive and yummy. What's your favorite recipe that you've done in Elements?
Well, Elements, I got to tell you, I was blessed there. And, one of the things that we always try to do is evolve. But when people like something and it's a winner, other people say, leave it alone. So I've had some big stuff on that menu for years. But I think my favorite is I did an Asian style oysters Rockefeller. And I made oysters. They were Island Creek oysters out of Duxbury, Massachusetts, one of my favorite oysters on the planet. I cooked a little bit of spinach, as like you would use in a regular, but I cooked it with ginger, a little pinch of sesame, some fresh garlic, and then I would pat the oyster down with the spinach, and then I put fried Chinese sausage, like ground. It looked like bacon.
Ooh, that sounds like it tastes good.
Yeah, back on top, and I cover it with a sesame seaweed sauce. And we broil them, and it gets like bubbly and delicious. And people eat the oysters. It was kind of a signature dish. It was one of my favorite things to cook.
You change the recipes monthly though, like the menu?
I did for a long, long time at Sanctuary, and then we just expanded and got so big. The restaurant, when I was first there, had a tiny little kitchen and a tiny little bar, and it was a 120 seat restaurant. And over the years, we just kept building and building and building. And my owner was like, built me a beautiful kitchen. So I got to the point where we were doing too many dinners to change monthly. Once my guys were getting really, really good at the dishes, we had to change. And I was like, let's do it quarterly now. We'll be very seasonal, but we'll do March, winter, spring, summer, fall, and winter. And so it worked. We've had a really good run over there.
Did you change the dishes like differently for each season? Like summer would be more summery feel? Like
very ingredient driven. Honestly, that's what people want. And so you guys know too, I mean, here in the summer, it's 130 degrees. Nobody wants to eat.
Over here, it's only gets to like 115. It happened last year.
But so like, I did in the summertime, I did a lot of like fishes, a lot of vinaigrettes, a lot of colorful food, obviously fresh tomatoes, and, mozzarella is a huge hit and all that stuff.
I love mozzarella.
Yeah, me too.
So I just lost my question. Oh yeah. Do you have any advice that you would give our viewers out there?
Advice for viewers. One is, I just think for people in general is, when you're dealing in the world of food and beverage, you're dealing with obviously one of life's most sensual pleasures. I mean? It really, truly, we all have our own flavor print. We're all born with it. We're all different. Things talk to us a different way. But I really, want to say thank you to all the people that go out and support restaurants, support local chefs, support everybody that's going through it. But I do want to try, like I'm trying with myself, is to slow down and smell the roses, enjoy the summer breeze, but also enjoy, a beautiful rosé at dinner, and take time while you're eating for the experience. I know people get caught up in the distractions and they want to get in and out, and they want to be, there's all these little things that come with everything. It's like when you're eating, it's like relax and chew your food and understand what it's doing, and just enjoy those moments, because it's a blessing. And if you can get out there and eat with people you don't know, and people you are willing to eat communally. I love restaurants, how they become passing and sharing and more variety and small plates, and being able to dine at community tables and things like that. It really opens up your eyes, and you meet lifelong friends that way. Breaking bread is important.
Yeah. It's also been interesting because we've been doing a lot of gardening, and we have goat to milk now, and we have chickens and stuff. So we've been making a lot of our own food with like ingredients. So we've been enjoying it almost more.
Eat food that comes off a plant, not made in a plant, and you guys are going to be
because it tastes better. You like using a lot of local foods, right?
I try as much as possible. Food at your average grocery store, I think, has to travel about 1,500 miles on average to get to places to feed people. And, it's really been a blessing to see America grow up in regards to food. And you can go all across this country and see artisan winemakers, artisan local guys doing their best restaurant spots. We have 5 or 6 organic farms within a 30-mile radius of the Scottsdale area. We have, like you said, goat cheese farms up in Strawberry and staff. And, it's a beautiful thing when you get something that, this comes from my home, or this comes from my backyard, and, there's nothing better. So do it as much as you can.
Yeah. We recently interviewed a guy who owned a farm where he plays called Green Bluff, and it's a bunch of different arrays of farms and stuff. Oh, he didn't use any pesticides or anything, and his beets were like this big.
Wow.
It was fun. Those beets are good. And he had like pumpkins and raspberries. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
So based off of the way you use local foods, do you make foods from different countries more, or do you like making foods from like the America area?
I love it all. I love it all. And it's funny because I'm a big Italian food guy, and listen, it doesn't have to be complex. Give me a good chicken parm any day and I'm ready to rock and roll, right?
Yeah.
But I also grew up outside of Boston, and I loved the Chinese food back home. It was such an influence on me. My girlfriend and I, when I was a kid, I'd order like $120 worth of Chinese food for two people. You know what I mean? It was just all the variety and taste and everything. And it was just fun. So yeah, it's a big world out there. And I've traveled to a couple different continents. I've cooked for a couple different presidents. And I think, the people, that's where food can take you. And you don't even have the brain capacity in life to really retain it all. So I just try to keep my eyes open. I spent a month in Seoul, Korea cooking. It was life-changing. The way the Korean population really valued food and the healthfulness of food and the kimchi and everything. It was just, every day is a learning lesson, and you're a student every day.
Yeah. It's interesting how all different foods grow, but they all taste good with their own things.
Right. Of course.
Did you have a favorite place that you traveled in all of your travels?
I've been to some special places. I got married on the island of Kauai
that's a fun place
called Anini Beach, and Kauai was just magical, and it's special, obviously, for my wife and I. So that's one of my favorite places in the world. But I really, truly, I got to go to Brussels, and I spent a good month and a half in Europe when I was younger, and then went back a couple of times. I went on a white truffle hunt in Italy, in Umbria. That was amazing. And I just, it's harder with 5 kids to travel as much as you could when you're young. So do it while you're young, guys. But I will tell you that, it's just, I think this world is a beautiful place. It really is. And it's domestic and overseas. I mean, just this country alone, from, Alaska to Maine, or, I lived in Boca Raton, Florida, ocean, and Louisiana and the French Quarter. It's like, look at what we have: San Francisco and the Bay. It's just Chicago. The
Hawaii,
one of the best food cities in the world. Like, so it's really awesome. We're lucky.
Yeah, it's cool how you can go up to like Finland and eat reindeer tartare, and then go down to like Hawaii or Mexico and eat like a whole grilled fish.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions for us with like these last few minutes?
Yeah, I just wanted to first say, one is, how did 2 amazing young humans like you get into podcasting?
Oh,
mostly our dad, because he was like, "Oh, you guys should do podcasts." I'm like, "Ooh, cool, we should do cooking."
Yeah, we were going to a pizza place once, and he had the bright idea of reviewing restaurants.
Yep.
But on a podcast, so we started out with audio, and we have this just nice Italian pizza restaurant. And so we reviewed that, and then it kind of grew into doing other recipes, and like kind of going to do or changing like unhealthy recipes into healthier recipes, and foraging and interviewing people. So it kind of formed.
Yeah, it's been like a couple years.
And since our dad does podcasting, that helps a lot too.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, I got a couple more questions. What's your favorite topping on a pizza?
I like pesto.
Yeah.
Wait. I came with a better one. Our mom makes German pizza with sauerkraut, mustard, and just some sausage. Yeah, and it's really good.
That sounds unbelievable.
Yeah,
is that your favorites too, or you have another one?
It's made with like arugula and goat cheese and like apples and prosciutto, I think.
Pear.
Pear and prosciutto.
Oh.
So it's not like tomato sauce and cheese. It's more of like a like sweet and creamy
white
pizza. Yeah, it's good.
I have an enchilada pizza on my menu right now that has fontina and mozzarella, little cherry peppers, and then it has a arugula salad on top with shaved parm and hot honey, and people like it. Yeah,
hot honey. That sounds cool.
Yeah, good. It's good. All right. So, favorite pasta dish?
Ooh, I like making ravioli, and I just like, because it's like kind of like a little like present sort of thing. You like bite into it and you're like, ooh. So yeah, I really like ravioli, I'd say.
I like, we had this one really good French restaurant that we actually did do a podcast on, but it was a buffalo shank horseradish gnocchi.
Ooh.
It was really good.
Was that in San Diego?
No, it was
Coeur d'Alene.
It was in Coeur d'Alene, yeah.
Oh, do you guys live up in Coeur d'Alene?
We live in Spokane.
Yeah, we live like right next to it, like 45 minutes away.
I cook up at Coeur d'Alene. I cook up at Coeur d'Alene every year for CCF at Gauzer, and I was Wayne Gretzky's chef for 5 years, and Wayne Gretzky is retired up there, so I get to go up and hang out with him and a bunch of friends. Fun.
Nice, yeah. It's a really pretty area.
Yep. All right. So one last question. If it's your birthday and you can have anything you want to eat, is there an all-time favorite request?
I really like pad thai, so probably it'd be pad thai just because I like the noodles and it's delicious.
Yep.
I don't have a favorite food because it changes depending on my mood.
Yeah.
But if it was my birthday, if it's around March, I'd probably say some sort of melons or something.
Nice.
Yeah, like a melon.
Like watermelon?
Gazpacho or something like that. I don't know.
Nice. When's your birthday in March?
19th.
Ah, that's awesome. My son's is 17th.
Oh.
He's a St. Patty's Day, and mine's March 4th, so go March.
Yeah, March.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, taking the time to be with us. I hope everyone out there enjoyed this, and I hope that you had a fun time with us.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you.
You guys, really nice meeting you guys too. I hope I get to cook for you at my restaurant one day, and I'm wishing you all the best success with your podcast.
We'll see. We're actually going to the Grand Canyon this summer, so
one of the greatest places ever. You're gonna love it. Not too
excited.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah. Awesome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Be good.
Bye. We will.
Bye.
I'm gonna try on a pepper.
I like how you can taste the bacon flavor from the bacon fat and the bacon bits. You can definitely taste the beans. Definitely got a beany texture to it. Aaron, what are you doing?
I am rendering down our bacon.
I'm dicing vegetables for a bean dip that Beau MacMillan made.
What you doing now, River?
I'm dicing the celery.
Dicing celery. Do you like celery?